to the Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through another monster's guts, so sit on down and drink to forget.
Yes, please. I need more drinks right now. I've only got 2 in front of me, and neither of them are alcoholic, so I'm a little sad right now.
Just pull up some of those UPBs and craft some alcohol. That
I
stuff
should.
is magic.
I made sure to be properly sedated before coming back for more of this.
Not sponsored by G
Cooper was
Fuel.
just petting his cup. Seems solid over there.
That's empty. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, guys, you made it out of the monster last time. The gigantic humongoid thingy. Right, yes, I remember that joke vaguely.
I'm pretty sure it was actually a dungeon.
Yeah, it was a monster dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not wrong.
A mungeon.
A mungeon.
I'd rather have a fungin.
Oh, come on. You guys got a water slide on the way out. How is that not a fungin?
That was pretty fun.
Probably because we almost died. I think NR5E has 0 resolve points. So, like,
one.
Don't tell him these things. There's a reason I don't mention them in session.
If he had gone down, we would have been sans NR5E.
Yeah. I just kept looking every time damage was ticking up during that last encounter. I'm just like, this is fine.
Yeah, I didn't have any. It would have been up to Pons to try and heal because I don't have any healing serums whatsoever, and
I was out of
kit.
I was out of spells, out of potions. Only had 1 resolve point left to heal anything, and I had 7 HP.
Oh, but you can engineer me, remember?
Can I? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I
you can.
can heal you with
That's
the
like-
power of mechanics.
Yes, with
Nice.
the power of science. That's the whole
You
reason.
just pull out a mallet and smack on him,
I
and
can
then he gets back
fix
up.
it.
Half the reason I play a robot
Yes,
in this
you
game is
can.
because I have a built-in doctor following me around.
2 doctors. We got
Yeah,
one
you've got
one
2
for
medics.
each part
Wow.
of you. We're really
Wow,
just
you set
here.
this up really well.
We're just 2 support classes for NR5E to come. It's like it's those old
That's
World of
perfect.
Warcraft raid builds where it's 1 tank and like 50 priests.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
are.
Or like that one of those like robot bosses in Final Fantasy where there's like techs that are feeding it missiles and repairing it, and you have to take them out before you get the main. And
Nice. Love those fights. Gives me interesting ideas, though.
Uh-oh. Stop talking.
Delta
Everyone
attack,
stop.
go!
No more ideas for Adam.
No, silence is bad for podcasts. Don't stop talking.
But if we're silent, then we might live. So it's like,
That was my rule of thumb.
which do we go with? Exciting podcast or not dying? Probably dying.
They can only detect us if they can hear us. And then I'm just walking around like a Tyrannosaurus Rex looking for people, but I can't do it unless you make noise.
Clever girl.
I can't make fart noises.
I have a friend who's really, really good at making fart noises. I'm like actually kind of jealous of the talent. Like I think he could make good Hollywood money being like a Foley fartist.
A fartist.
Wow.
Foley fartist.
Is that like a flautist? But
I was really hoping
Yeah.
this joke wouldn't take off so I could edit it out later, and now I'm locked in.
Yeah, you're stuck with it.
So where were we,
Clearly.
Adam?
where you were last time was you guys had just gotten out of this crazy roller coaster ride, climbed out of the top just as this giant thing of acid shoots out into the air, and then what's that on the horizon as the second hand boom, comes flying in with Izbin Espa saying,
It's
I
a
finally
bird.
got a lock on
Yes.
this.
It's a plane. It's a pile of junk.
But it's our pile of junk.
Yes, it is.
It's coming, and it's kind of like listing to one side and parts are falling off as it flies over.
You know, I thought I taught those goblins better than that. I don't think any parts are falling off.
It was this ship or the Mungeon when we made a choice.
Didn't we harvest parts from it to make the submarine that we were in?
No,
No,
we harvest
no.
parts from a submarine to make a submarine.
Oh, that's right. We found a hole. Okay, I vaguely
Yeah,
remember
you
that
guys
now.
dragged it through the desert back to you guys.
Oh, with our ship. Okay, it all comes
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's time for us to get started, shall we?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Free from the beast and back aboard the second hand. Izbin brings the ship around and points it towards the mainland. She seems strangely tense, staring into the warm glow of the ship's console. Across it, the readout is Tomes of Emergency Power, Volume 2, Chapter 11.
11. Oh my gosh. Did you know that we had 12 chapters in season 1, so we're coming up. Like, I don't know what your plan is, Adam. I won't presume to know what's in that head of yours.
I have no idea.
But it's gotta be coming up.
No one should be here.
It's gotta be coming up. We just hit level 5, so I'm like, if we're going by adventure path, like official Paizo adventure paths, this would be like the finale of the second book right here.
Well, as you know, I am incredibly good at staying exactly with pacing of books, so you can only assume. Okay, so you guys just essentially climbed aboard the second hand, and you hear over the comm, everybody hang on, we're gonna swing south and fly into a sandstorm. And then the computer pipes up, I can't advise that line of action. Quiet, computer. Let the adults talk.
Captain, if I may, why are we piloting the ship into a sandstorm?
Well, I have news and you're not going to like it. I sure as Shirens don't. So they start swinging over into the mainland, flying directly at this sandstorm. When I dropped you guys off in the submarine, I had to pull the ship straight up into the air so that it could fall out of cargo, right? We got clocked by radar when that happened.
Whose radar?
I can only assume it's these Cylon people.
They're onto us?
I tried to not go directly back to the Gobbo's headquarters, and I tried to do kind of what we're doing now, to get rid of them. But there's some ships beelining to this side of the planet that I detected with our sensors.
Scrif's gonna run over to the science station and try and get some sensor readings.
How many sentries have they dispatched?
I saw 4 on radar, but... And she sees Scrif run over to it. Maybe you can get a better read on things.
That's a 25 for computers.
Nice.
A single flight is problematic, but not overwhelming.
Oh, that's actually, since we have advanced sensors, that's a 29.
Okay, with a 29, that's really good. So what you're getting is you're picking up in a close vicinity a patrol of 4 ships that are moving around. You're guessing that they're kind of strafing the area looking for this ship. You're also picking up other groups of fighters. They seem to go in pairs of 2 most of the time. But possibly the most important thing you're picking up is a very, very large ping on the radar. And this thing, comparatively to your ship, which is quite small, this is like maybe gargantuan sized, if you were to classify it.
Oh my gosh. That's like, okay, so on the tier list of ship sizes, there are only 2 that have been written about that are bigger than that. So that's big.
This thing's big.
This is like you could have a city on it?
That's a carrier or a battleship.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah, 5E's looking over Scriff's shoulder at the readouts and going, that rather changes my tactical assessment.
Yeah. You can just see this one very large dot on the radar. Well, we can't fight that, but maybe we can run. This ship is pretty fast.
What civilization has a ship that big on this planet?
The Cylon.
That's my guess as well.
Oh yeah, we avoided that last time.
So we're going to try to do that this time, and pulls immediately into this sandstorm.
I'll see what extra juice I can get you.
Okay.
Someone take over at computers.
We may just want to hunker down for a bit until the patrols go past, so if you guys maybe want to catch some rest, you look horrible.
We should seal the vents. We can burn off life support energy. I don't want to have to clean those things out again.
Question.
Yes.
How the hell is a ship that big in atmosphere?
Okay, so when I think carrier, think about like the Avengers carrier. Know what I mean?
Okay.
Kind of.
That's the size I'm thinking, and I was looking at, okay, it has enough to launch this many ships. That sounds about right. So it's
Okay. How
big is
it's
that?
not it's okay, so you know how on like medium and large scale, a large person is like 10 feet, but it can go all the way up to, you know, almost 15 feet, but stop just before that. It's on the small side of the scale.
So this is like 5 times the size of our ship, but
Crew complement says 75 to 200. Minimum crew
Yeah.
is 75 to operate this thing.
Yeah, it's probably along that more minimum area.
For
Okay.
a carrier.
Just so you know.
Or it could be a
Yes.
battleship. So anywhere between 75 and 300 on this thing.
Sure.
I didn't even know that was a thing as far as size
Oh, yeah.
and where it is.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can actually
yeah.
get that as, like, you know, there's no reason you couldn't get that as a player. You would have a bunch of NPCs operating your ship, but
Mm-hmm.
There is
Yeah,
a
large
reason.
cost.
It's called money.
Yeah, you need to start a
Yes.
business first.
ships don't cost money.
Not if you steal them.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense then, that why it would still be able to be in atmosphere if it's approximately that size. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's try to lose them. We can't risk leading them back to the Wasties clan.
I'm definitely gonna take a nap. I'll be in a sleeping bag. It's hanging up over there.
I'll call you if we need anyone to hop on the guns.
Oh, okay.
I'm also powering down for diagnostics and defragmentation. Alert me if you need me.
Right.
Affirmative. I will run down to the engines, assuming that Izbin wants some more juice in these engines to just kind of blast out of their range.
I think the plan is more just to get into the sandstorm and park it somewhere, essentially, so that way it kind of covers you guys. And she'll move when she can with the sandstorm. So, unless she gets caught, she's not going to need to blast it, most likely.
Okay.
So, you are welcome to go take a rest as well, because she will call you if anyone needs to be on the guns.
And I'll tap Izbin on the shoulder with the arm that we found and be like, by the way, I found you an arm.
Oh, gee. Why are you... Oh, okay.
We'll talk later.
She just stares at you as you walk away.
Who else was on this ship, Adam?
She is the only other person at the moment.
Okay, so Uzi or anyone didn't follow them or any other Goblin clan.
Who's the priest? Victor?
Victor. Yeah, now it seems like Izbin jumped in the ship when she saw you guys on radar, flew over, picked you up, and it's like, we're getting out of here.
Cool.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then I'm going to hit this full rest.
The best button in the
Yay.
game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that full rest.
All right, I got my spells back. I can finally
Pons,
use them.
do you have any healings that you can do before resting up your stuff? Did you have any spells left or anything?
I had one more resolve point I could use for the healing hands. So I could.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, do you want me to use it on someone else, or should I use it on myself?
Use it on, yourself.
All right, I'll go and go
Yeah,
back up to
because you
max
guys
HP
can
then.
do some other checks on everyone else, too.
In fact, I would love an engineering check to get some extra HP back because I'm still pretty low.
Let's trade heals because I can engineer you. I haven't done that on you.
Yep. And I've got an advanced med kit, so I can do medis on you as well.
Dude, awesome. I think last time you guys had to do this was the giant plant tentacle monster that you fought.
And they both had to lay next to each other as they're just operating at the same time.
Yeah, they're not taking turns. It's at the same time they're doing stuff to each other.
Sitting in
Oh,
a chair
no.
opposite of each other playing Operation.
I did not succeed at the check to treat 5E's wounds.
Womp womp. Well, I did, I'm pretty sure, because I got a 23 on that. So you should take a little bit of a boost.
That's an advanced med kit? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did.
He's good.
It's because mine's still basic. If I had an advanced, I would have succeeded. I also got a 23. But the DC's 25. Cool. So I'll get 5 more back.
Are you using...
I'm using my custom rig, which has a built-in toolkit, but it's only basic right now.
Cool.
So you guys try to heal each other up a little bit, and then everyone beds down for a while Izbin tries to move the ship under the cover of the sandstorm.
Does our ship still have all that stuff hanging off of it from when we invaded the Wasties? Or the clan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you guys invaded the Wasties and put giant
that's what it is.
skeletal mouths on like the
might be a good time to
harpoon.
take that off at some point here.
All right. By the time you guys wake up, Izbin has managed to navigate all the way to the Wasties clan base. So the second hand pulls into the old military hangar as the large doors close to cut off that raging sandstorm outside. Several goblins clad in overalls and tool belts rush over to start doing checks on the ship. They're like the elite squad that Scrif trained.
Nice.
What are their
So
names?
Wow, ouch. Okay,
All 12 of them.
all 32. I don't have any offhand. I have a list somewhere, but I panicked.
Are they named like the 7 dwarves, like Oily and Greasy and
Thinking the same.
Slimy?
That's not their actual names, but that's their new nicknames they've gotten when they became like engineers.
Yeah. Toe Jam, Ipus, Ear
Or are
Infection.
they?
Yeah,
they're,
it's a lot of
they're
stuff
each
like that.
they're each named after like the one tool that they have out of the toolkit.
Wow.
Good job, wrench. Hey, screwdriver, come over here.
Okay, so they run over, they start checking to make sure the ship's done okay through the sandstorm. If anyone has to clean out the vents, it's going to be them now.
That's
As
appreciated.
you step out of the ship with the platform that come down the stairs, a space goblin clad in a myriad of necklaces saunters towards you, his entourage of guards looking on solemnly. Mega Chief Uzi Paswoon smiles wildly at your return. Well, Tolly's make it back in one piece.
What did
You almost make Uzi think he not need be there to save you. Almost.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Uzi got there first.
I appreciate the warm reception, Mega Chief.
Yeah, he's got this smile as he comes over to you, and he kind of acts like you guys have been gone for like months instead of like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
We found something for your vault, and I'll just pull out all the diamonds and crystals.
Did you just offer him that?
I mean, we're gonna sell them, right?
Yeah, I was hoping so.
Usually goblins have red eyes, but they like glaze over the color of the diamonds as he
Like
looks at
money
them.
symbols on their
Uh-huh.
eyes.
Essentially.
Cha-ching.
Well, we figure out a way to take care of that soon, but, so, actually, things kind of crazy around here, so Uzi needs to show you something.
All right, lead on.
So the Mega Chief leads you down a series of unfamiliar tunnels until you're led to the Chief's private box that overlooks the Blood Ring Arena.
Nice.
Awesome.
He walks up and puts his hands on the balcony railing before pointing down. And below in the stadium, everything has been entirely torn apart down there. The spiked fortifications are scattered into pieces. the mace swinging machine has been thrown up and is stuck in the ceiling and is just dangling there.
What happened?
And in the center of this devastation, there are two large figures. And Uzi's like, they've been fighting for nearly 2 days.
Those the trolls?
So, Gludge the troll rears their arm back with great effort and slams it forward into the jaw of the overgrown Vesk that stands opposite.
Oh!
Swarkus Gore takes the punch to the face, arms just too tired to keep the guard up. He staggers back for a moment, raises his claw, and then goes right back and returns the favor at Gludge.
They just, look completely exhausted.
Exactly. They're covered in, scrapes and wounds and stuff, and they're just punch. Punch.
How did he get here?
Big bad lizard kicked down door demanding to see all you. Uzi say, because he's very smart, that if he wants to speak to Tali's, he must prove himself in Blood Ring. He say, take apart anyone who stand in way. But Glunge no happy lizard come to see Tali's who helping him find a mate, so he gestures down to the battle below.
We need to get down there and stop this.
Yeah, probably good. Neither giving up.
So as we're running down towards the Coliseum, Scrif's gonna say, Swarkus could be a great ally if we're going after the Silan. He hates them as much as we do, despite our differences. We tried to team up in the past, but maybe he's seen the error of his ways.
I concur with your assessment. We also have him at a distinct disadvantage right now. Glunge has done an admirable job of wearing him down. Hopefully he will not provide much more resistance.
I would assume after we left his camp, it's been mostly destroyed, so he may not have anywhere else to go at this point.
I don't see any of his, the rest of his clan, so you might be right. Let's hurry before one of them kills the other, or they kill each other.
Agreed. We have to separate them.
Just one of those double KOs where they punch each other at the same time and fall over.
Yep. Like a Street Fighter draw.
Exactly. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Tiger uppercut!
So I'll run out there and just signal to everyone to surround Swarkus with our weapons and say, stop this right now! We're here. We're here to talk.
Okay, so Swarkus had just landed a punch on Gludge. He takes a step back. His one good eye kind of blinking tiredly, and he looks over. Finally! Little runt wouldn't let me speak to you. Doesn't care that gets punched in the face by Gludge.
Glunge! Wait, I don't even know his name, do I? I think that was all 5e.
I can stop him. Glunge, cease. You have fought well. This one will surrender if he knows what is good for him.
You can see in Glunge's face, they're thinking about punching him again, but they're like, yeah, okay.
I need to try something here, Adam.
Yes.
Is there, this is kind of gross, but is there wounds enough that I could take some skin from the troll? If I approached him?
Ooh. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This troll has been clawed quite a bit, so there's blood and stuff lying around, but you can't guarantee it's not Swarkus's on the ground all the time.
Yeah, that's where I want to do one of those, in a movie where they prick the finger of the person and then pass by. I would want to do that, but then I would want to prick him, pull off some flesh, and heal him instantly.
Okay, so are you trying to do it subtly so they don't notice you're doing that, or are you just
I'll basically announce it I would like to heal the troll to our party, but then I'll have to kind of judge the scenario and see if there's any time I could approach him without him noticing, would be the goal.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me... man, I can never remember what saves and
deception
stuff and everything. Why don't you give me sleight of hand?
Is that in this? Oh, it is.
It is.
I don't have
I think it's a trained skill.
Yeah. Oh, please roll well. 17?
All right, so Pons, you start to kind of come up and be like, I'm gonna try to heal you. Don't worry, I'm here to help, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And Gludge just looks like a boxer who's gone way too many rounds in the rink, and they're just kind of bobbing a little bit back and forth like they're drunk. So you don't even think they really notice you come up. So you're more than welcome to do your thing.
And like sneak to the backside of him, put both my hands on the shoulder and be like, I gotcha. And then pull off a little piece of flesh as I heal him.
There you go, Rock. Good job. Hang in there, buddy.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and heal him for 25.
Nice.
25?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what you do essentially is like you come up to it and wounds have like pieces of skin and stuff hanging out. You just kind of like pull one off and then heal that spot. Mm-hmm. And Glunge definitely doesn't even notice because peek behind the curtain, I rolled a natural 1 for a grand total of -2 to perceive you doing that.
Nice. Perfect. Okay.
Glunge,
okay, he should feel better. As I slowly back away, just make sure I don't get swung on accident.
That's probably a good plan.
Shout to Swarkus, throw down your weapon and we can talk.
Kind of looks down at his claws. My hammer's
put them away
somewhere. They just retract back into his fingers.
Put them in your pockets or something. I don't know. Just lower your guard.
Yeah, could we, go and have a talk somewhere? Or maybe I can sit down. I broke all the benches.
5e looks into one of the tunnels that leads into the Blood Ring and says, I believe there's some areas we could take over back this way. And we should probably look at your wounds.
That'd be great. Yeah, let's, He also seems a little punch drunk, so he just kind of goes along with this the moment until you guys get into essentially the prep area for Blood Ring fighters. He sits down across 2 of the benches.
Oh. All right. We're here. We're sitting. Why did you come to all this trouble to find us? Last time we talked, you were trying to capture us and turn us into part of your little gang.
He does this big, heavy sigh, and you get this bad breath throughout the entire room because he's so big.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Well, and he gestures around. I don't have any more of them, do I? The damn surges killed them all. Or captured some, I guess. But you know I had to walk across a desert to find all of you, right? You took my best ship.
You have my sympathies.
It was really nice.
You tried to kill us or capture us. I don't know what you were trying to do. We tried to negotiate with you. You didn't seem to be amenable then. But now that the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah, he looks over at 5e's feet. Yeah, it is. The shoes are on the other foot, aren't they?
Oh, yes, these have been very helpful.
Oh, yeah, you took his mag boots. I forgot about that. That's where we got those.
I recently used them to escape the maw of a gargantuan sea creature.
Well, sounds like you guys have had a super swell adventure. I was eating bugs out in the desert. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was really loads of fun.
Yeah.
We went surfing.
Of sorts. Uh-huh.
All right, so here's the skinny. I've got nothing left here. They've taken everything. The only chance is that I have some of my allies still alive. My understanding is that Archduke Pathon, that pompous... And he stops himself from going on that sentence. Uses this big flying ship in the sky like a prison. And he might have him there.
Would that happen to be the size of a carrier with a crew of 75 to 300?
Yeah, I think that'd be the one, yes. The one that, like, blots out the sun when it goes over?
Is it typically escorted by a flight of fighters?
I'm sure. I usually keep my head down, but they don't deploy that thing very often, so they must be up in a bit of a fit.
How do you expect us in our little ship to get aboard something that gigantic without being destroyed?
But more important, what do you have to offer for
That
us
too.
to do something like that?
Why should we help you after you nearly killed us?
He pulls up his claws again. Shink! They come out. He now has a canonically retractable claws.
He's a cat desk.
It's a good choice.
Well, I don't expect you all to just go in and get my people. I just need help getting there. I don't care if you leave after that. Whatever.
Still, why should we help you? You don't seem to hold any cards here. So we should just do this out of the kindness of our hearts? You made this first encounter on this planet very difficult for us, and you don't seem to be offering anything in return.
They hang their head a little bit.
Should we do like a huddle here?
What?
Oh, group huddle? Okay, he gets in the group huddle with
No,
Pons.
no, without him. Without him. I do want to kind of discuss that with the group without him.
You have telepathy.
It's true. We should huddle anyway.
Uzi will come over, just stand and like stare Swarkus down while you guys have a little conversation.
We got Glunge.
Uzi's like standing next to Glunge.
5e, can you have Glunge watch him while we have a talk?
Glunge needs to rest, but I will instruct some of the goblin guards to keep an eye on him. I'm going to walk out to where I know the guards are stationed, guarding the tunnels, and just call probably half a dozen of them in, and just say, keep your weapons trained on him.
Yeah, you don't even have to tell them that, because, like, you bring them in, they already know the score here, that there's this giant lizard, so they just stand around it.
For re-emphasis. And
Sure.
then I'm going to say, Scrif, a word in the hallway, please. And I'm going to start walking back out toward the blood ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pons.
I'm thinking we actually might be able to use this opportunity. We didn't stand a chance against him last time we encountered him.
Yes, but our powers have doubled since the last time we met.
It's true.
Just before we walked in here, you were suggesting that we should turn him against the Cylon. Now, you're playing hardball. Is this some sort of negotiation tactic you have not explained to us?
Well,
Because
yeah.
otherwise it seems as though you're being obtuse.
I mostly wanted him to apologize.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's
He's a bit of a
pride.
dick.
An emotion I do not quite grasp yet.
He punched me really hard last time, okay? It hurt.
It hurt his feelings. Like,
It hurt more than my feelings. It hurt my face.
He has walked across a desert to be pummeled nearly to death by a troll. I think he's gotten payback.
yeah, I think we should probably use him. Plus, we still don't know why they're after us. We've barely made contact with them, and yet
After us or after 5e?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question, I guess. Hopefully they don't know that we have this arm thing.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that Swarkus is a bad person. He's a strong leader for his people, or was for his people before they all got captured and killed.
Not my fault.
You can hear us.
Quiet here.
This is a private conversation.
Sorry. But not for punching you, just for listening.
I do think that the enemy of our enemy is our friend, so maybe for that sake. But I still don't trust him to do any more than get his people back. So if we're going to get anything from him, it needs to be before that.
We are operating from a mutual position of distrust. I do not think he is going to give us any more quarter than we would give him. And I do not think he has anything to offer. It's clear he's coming to us because he has lost everything.
It'd be nice if we had some sort of assurance, though, or a way to control him. It just seems unlikely at this point that he wouldn't either take the chance to betray us or run away at the wrong time. That's my only concerns.
So internally, Scrif is very much thinking like, so the only reason to do this is to be like the stereotypical good guy, and to live out those childhood fantasies of being like the hero in the power armor arena, to be the face of the Robo Wrestling Federation. And Scrif will say, I guess it's better to be good and potentially dead than evil and a living.
I am not certain how far ethics and morality interject themselves into the situation. It seems to me we have little other choice.
I say that we use him for whatever he can offer us, and don't hold anything against him for right now. Want to walk back into the room?
All right. I'll go up to Swarkus and say, all right, we've decided we will help you. But first, I want to know everything that you know about the Cylon and about this planet.
All right.
How old are you?
That's very personal.
Pons is like very inquisitive.
Never ask that of a Vesk.
The claws are like trying to come back out, but he's controlling it, and they just like come out a little bit and then go back in. No, that's. Listen, I know we didn't get off on the best claw here, so that's more than fair. Yeah, when you all showed up, you had a ship that can get out of this place.
Or so we thought.
What?
Well, I guess I'll tell you a little story first.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
We tried to escape this planet. I fixed up the second hand, your old ship, to do just that. Even built a drift engine into it. But there is something that is preventing us from escaping the atmosphere.
Right. Drift engine. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. Right.
Do you know why we couldn't escape the atmosphere?
No, that's the big question, isn't it? So, he kind of looks at Pons. In answer to your question, I'm old enough to have seen this place get put into wherever it is, the sky disappear. So, old enough to have come in contact with the Cylon more than I would have preferred. You haven't seen their city, have you?
I think we did a quick drive-by.
Well, it makes Io look pathetic and dingy. It's this gleaming place with ostentatiousness everywhere you look. The most ordained commander runs a tight ship and has been around as long as I can tell the whole time.
His ship does look pretty tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's really big. I respect that as a Vesk.
Why would the Cylon be looking for... And I just kind of gesture over to NR5E.
I don't know, maybe the same reason I was, but I don't even know if that's what they're looking for.
Then why were you going after NR5E? You never explained that.
Well, look at him. He's the most advanced thing on this planet.
He is not incorrect.
Well, I think there's something similar to him on this planet.
Yes. There appear to be some sort of robotic sentries with analogs close to my own design which have been dispatched. I do not believe they were seeking me intentionally, but they seemed to feel fortunate that they ran across me. They attempted to subvert my programming.
I've heard about that. Old SRO units left behind or forgotten. My understanding is at some point they started acting real weird after the sky clamped down, but I've never run into one myself.
Do they work for the Cylon government or the ordained commander?
I don't think so. I think they're they act like some sort of crazy robo cult thing. I don't know. That's just things I've heard.
Huh.
Now the Cylon are a conglomeration of everyone who got stuck here and decided they needed the most ordained commander's protection.
Do you know what caused our ship to crash? Or any details about our arrival here that we may be unaware of? You knew where we'd crashed. You knew that we crashed.
Your ship hit the city. The whole thing shook.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
Yeah, we're pretty close to it.
I sent out my men to go find whatever was happening out there, and some of them didn't come back. But, I mean, they found out about you, and you know about the drift thing. So, my guess is that the Cylon are looking for all of you for the same reason I am, is because nobody wants to be here. If there's something beyond this place, we all want out, and you guys seem to be the only ones who know how to do that.
Not yet.
Well, on your first point, I certainly concur.
It wasn't personal when I tried to capture you. Imagine you were stuck here for 70-something, whatever years. You'd want to do anything you could to get out of here, too.
I can empathize with your position.
I appreciate that after I tried to capture you. You guys got any other questions?
I was waiting for Jeff there, but unless...
I don't think so. It doesn't seem like he has any other knowledge that we don't already know.
Yeah, it seems like he separated at least who and what for us a little bit, so that's good.
He didn't really get to analyze our ship before the Cylon attacked his encampment, so he probably doesn't have any of that info that we might not have gotten off of the ship.
No, I think that's about as much, unless we're forgetting something.
So he pretty much just wants us to infiltrate the prison carrier, which I'm assuming is the same ship we caught on radar, and rescue his people.
That's basically what he's looking for. As far as you can tell, his objectives from what he said are rescue what people I have left. I want to leave this place.
Yeah, and I mean, he even mentioned that he was cool with just being dropped off and us going off if we didn't want to help him, but...
I'm going to ask Torcus, are there any other prisoners of note on that ship?
I mean, I've never been on it, but like I said, if the Cylon have captured it, it's probably there.
I'm going to turn to Pons and 5e and say, maybe that's where we find our prisoner.
Oh, Gludge's mate.
No.
No, a different one, but that would be...
The prisoner...
Oh, the prisoner.
For whom this planet is...
That's fair.
A prison.
There could be a connection there. But actually, yeah, I was thinking of the troll.
The troll could be there too.
That's what I thought you were referencing the whole time.
That would be the most likely place.
Jeff is big brain thinking while I'm troll thinking.
Yeah, but I will ask Swarkus, have you seen any trolls in IO?
Other than him over there?
Little wave.
Mm-hmm.
If I had found one in IO, I would have asked if they want a job. But no. It was a populated place for a long time until everybody either left or died. So I didn't come across one.
Then, yes, that ship might be the best place to look for Glunge's mate, 5E.
If the Ceylon have successfully assimilated everyone who left Io and other settlements, then it does seem like a safe bet.
Which brings us to the next question. How, in the name of all the gods, are we going to get aboard that carrier without being destroyed?
I am also at a loss as to figure this one.
Could always just get captured.
That is a good question, yes.
Our ship is fast, but a head-on assault is not its strength.
Oh, could we make it look like one of their ships, or could we commandeer one of theirs?
We could attempt to draw one or two of their flight members away, see if we could disable the ships.
I'm going to need to do some research, I think.
Yes, this could take time, and it seems we have some on our hands because Sworkus is going to need to rest up and recover.
That wouldn't hurt my feelings.
All right. Everyone think on this. We'll come up with a plan. Meanwhile, rest up, and I'm going to get to some work. Cue montage music as I go into my workshop.
Can we buy stuff
Fivey's
now?
going to instruct the Goblin Guards to find quarters for Sworkus Gord.
Was he going to the arcade?
Yes.
Get this man some quarters.
For change.
5E will further admonish Sworkus. You are now a guest here. Take care that you act like one. The goblins are a lesser civilization, developmentally speaking, but they are not without their own sense of honor.
Gives a little nod.
And I'm going to go tend to Glunge.
Okay.
5E just wants to check in on Glunge, offer medical treatment. I'll make a medicine check if need be, and let him know that our best guess is that his mate might have been swept up by a prison ship that we're going to try to assault. So that's kind of sort of good news, and ask him if he needs anything, maybe give him a small stipend of credits as thanks for his efforts in the ring against Sworkus Gord.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Very good. Okay, so Jeff's going to have a montage. You're helping out Gludge for a bit. Pons, you doing anything in particular?
Yeah, I need to buy weapons, and then I need some way of containing the piece of flesh I took from the troll without it deteriorating. So if I can't think of anything, honestly, I'll just take it to, like, Scrif, probably, and see if he would know how to preserve it, which is going to be a weird conversation.
Do spell effects like Gentle Repose exist in Starfinder?
I haven't seen it.
I've never come across it, so there may be a tech equivalent, but I think that might be like an in-world thing as opposed to a spell.
Yeah,
Like,
just
you
curious.
get the technology to do it, you know?
Because it's a fairly low-level effect in Pathfinder, so I didn't know if something analog to it existed in this.
What is it?
What if I put life bubble around it?
Gentle Repose. It's like it's usually a first or second level spell that effectively lets you preserve a corpse so that it will not rot. And I would assume you could do the same with remains, because I think it does say remains, so it doesn't have to be whole ones.
Yeah, that's how it is working. That's how it works in 5e and in Pathfinder, but I do not know if it's a thing here or not.
There is a level 3 spell for Technomancer and Witchwarper called Preserve Specimen.
That's probably it.
That's probably the one.
There's also, if I just searched for Preserve, and let's see.
This one's for making jam.
There is a habitat box, which is a level 1 item for 375 credits, used to store small creatures or plant samples.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we can build something like that, I have some UPB still.
Okay.
That actually sounds really similar. It would just have to be like a sealed, sterile environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you gave Uzi just a pile of crystals, and you guys are going to get just at Scrif's request a giant pile of UPBs. So, like, he
How
can
much
make
rice
stuff.
can I buy with all these crystals?
Oh, lots of rice.
I'm just imagining Scrif walking in, throwing out that, like, the handful of UPBs, make it rain, but then immediately scrambling on the ground to pick them all up.
He
swirl
makes
them back
it
into his
rain
pocket.
onto a workbench and then gets to work with them.
Oh, even better. Way classy.
We go over what we got or bought or what we want to get.
All right, for your crystal contribution to the Wasties clan, you all have gotten 2,500 UPBs.
Yes!
All right,
Oh,
excellent.
delicious rice.
Yeah, so what do you guys do with it?
Well, 5E has been browsing the markets and found probably a technomancer among the goblins who has gotten a hold of some swarm technology.
Ooh.
And has decided to invest in an ant sting pistol.
Ah, that's so cool.
So it
Look at those.
generates
fires a bunch of
acid
ants?
slicked. It generates acid slicked stingers. It's a bio weapon, a living weapon. So it
That's
deals
so
acid
cool.
and piercing damage.
That is rad.
I can just see a goblin mad scientist. They have goggles with like one of the eyes missing, and things are always exploding in their shops.
Yes.
That's 100% who would make that.
And I'm going like full on Mega Man arm cannon with that thing too.
Amazing.
Yes. Very
All
good.
right. So Pons is like, I need some sort of energy damage that is not in the mind. So I'm gonna get 2 pistols. One that is a lightning pistol that shoots in a line, and the other one that's a
Nice.
flame attack.
What?
Yeah. And the flame attack that can burn the enemy as well. And then I also picked up 2 grenades just because explosives are fun.
Yeah.
Pons is ready for war.
Yeah, we're going on a battleship.
Seriously.
I'm
Just
ready to
Pawns
go.
in the Rambo outfit.
What do we need? Guns.
Guns and
Lots of
explosives.
guns.
Okay, and Scrif, what are you doing with your big money?
So everyone is like out shopping, and they'll come back into their rooms and like put their stuff away. And just from behind this door, you just hear clanging and banging and saws and screwdrivers running, just like machinery operating for like a solid 8 hours.
Gosh.
As Scrif finally constructs their armor, you hear over the comms, 5E, can you give me a hand getting this adjusted? I'm in the workshop.
Certainly, I'll be right there.
And you walk into just this massive suit of power armor that Scrif is sitting in, but it's like currently like some of the buckles need to be done up to get it sized properly, and like it's leaning to one side because it's not properly calibrated yet. So Scrif will instruct you to put this thing together, but what it is effectively is
God, the tension.
what it is effectively is the Psi Shield power armor, which it was in Tech Rev, and it's this really cool armor. So I'm going to give you the kind of the description of why I picked it.
Okay.
So Psi Shield units protect scientists conducting dangerous fieldwork. The suit excels at deflecting radiation. It grants protection against radiation as if it were level 7.
Wow.
That's good.
Even though it's a level 5 item. And a biohacker or mechanic that is wearing a Psi Shield unit treats their class level as 2 higher than normal for the purposes of determining the range of their custom microlab and remote hacking class features.
Whoa.
So it's a 10-foot increase on my remote hacking range.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cool.
So you could just
Sounds like a
hack from
mobile
across
deck.
the room.
30 feet, I believe.
Does that include building things?
It's
Like how
like any engineering or computers role.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
huge.
That's
then.
amazing.
Awesome.
All right. So 5E's looking at the rig and going, This is some very impressive engineering. It may require some minor customizations in order for you to fit properly.
I need to get some new batteries too. It's quite hungry. If you could just reach over and grab that piece, that is the finishing touch. And you look over and you see this one chunk of diamond that Scrif didn't sell that you're gonna place right in the chest of this thing.
All right. 5e picks up the gem. He actually pulls a small buffing tool out of his pocket and rounds off an edge that doesn't seem quite even on it. There. This should work. And snaps it into the center of the chest.
You slot that in, and it completes the circuit for the battery, and the suit powers up, and the helmet on this thing comes down over Scrif's face, and it's like a giant metal mouse head, complete with like pointy, bitey teeth. So
finally,
this thing had power armor. The reason power armor is cool is because it replaces my unarmed strike.
Oh wow!
So
that's so neat.
So I'm now biting with the force of power armor.
Now, does that change your size category? Because you're normally a small creature, right?
Large.
Oh,
damn, that's awesome. Mecha mouse.
Mecha
a little bit of a difference.
I
there.
love it.
The big cheese.
The big cheese.
Now you can go blow for blow with Sworka Score.
Man.
Just punch.
Please tell me. Don't you have a grapple feat as well? Or was that something else I was thinking of?
Grapple, no. I have scurry, but that's not going to be any use to me while I'm in large armor.
But dude, if you could find like a mod that would give you a grab attack or grapple attack, you could legit do the cheddar chokehold.
Yes, I could. That would be awesome. Yes. But yeah, so power armor completely replaces your unarmed attack and replaces your strength modifier. So now I can actually do melee attacks and not suck at it.
Wow.
Did you get so many boosts from that? Like the
and
one
it replaces
item.
my speed, which is not the good part.
Jeez.
That sucks. But and I borrowed Pons's light armor because I can still wear light armor underneath it, and to get in and out of power armor is only a full action.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You just pop the lid and drop out. Nice.
All right.
Congrats, man. That power suit has been long coming.
I'm excited
I'm very,
to try it
very
out.
glad that we have these upgrades.
I want to go challenge Sworkus to a little friendly battle, but I think we've got more pressing matters.
Yeah, you go in and he's like nearly unconscious, and you just start like punching him.
Stay tuned next week for our MOBA episode.
I can take you now.
Choose your fighters.
Very cool. Finally, the big cheese emerges.
So do we need to meet up and discuss how we want to go about getting onto the ship? Or does anyone have any good ideas?
After Scrif finishes up with his gigantic mech suit, you get a knock on the door. And from the other side, Scrif, are you in there? It's Izbin.
Come on in. I just finished up what I was working on. Do you want me to install your prosthetic arm?
She looks over at you, gives a little nod, and she's like, yeah, I waited until I stopped hearing smashing before I knocked.
I appreciate it. I get in the zone when I'm working, and so it's better that I don't get a lot of distractions. So we found this arm while we were down there. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know what it's from, and so I'm not gonna say that there's no risk in installing it. I can do a more standard arm if you want.
She thinks about it for a few long seconds. I think if you believe you can make this thing work, I wouldn't mind having... She looks at one side of her body, completely missing arms. An upgrade.
All right.
We've got to like really protect her if we do this, though.
I hope so. I hope this thing's really cool. I don't even know what features it has.
What we just
I
might
should probably
have to use
inspect
it as a
before I
key
put
later,
it in, huh?
or something. Yeah.
It'd be recommended.
I will try to identify this arm before I shove it into Izbin.
I feel like it's an artifact.
Medical ethics dictate that might be a good idea.
I found this thing. Let's shove it on you. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
I don't want Scrif to get too into the mad part of science.
Sure.
We've all had players that have done that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Identify?
Let me pull back up my sheet, which had some of this stuff. Okay. Let's see. Last time you looked, you did a computers and engineering roll. So you can give me a physical science, a life science, or a mysticism.
I will do... Ooh, physical science, actually. I'm going to go with physical science.
Okay. Go ahead, give me
That's
that roll.
a 29.
All right.
Man.
Ooh, that does it.
Nat 18.
Wow. Okay, so beyond what you had gotten last time you looked at this thing, which, you were able to tell it's some sort of intermingling between biomechanics and mechanics to create something like a SRO, but like nothing you've ever seen, right? A couple other things you notice as you're, basically probing this thing is that when you touch the surface of it, your claw actually sinks in a few centimeters before it gets to a rigid point. So it seems to have this outer layer that acts more like skin or something than just a robot arm.
It's squishy?
It's squishy a little bit, yeah, on the outside. And with a 29, on a hunch, just looking at this thing, you might assume that it could possibly do some sort of shape change.
What?
Oh, so maybe partially like an ooze or something?
Oh my gosh. Are you guys sure you don't want this?
I'm okay.
Really, really sure I don't want that.
Is it more like an ooze property, or does it feel like it's a whatever the other things are called that change into humans?
There's a couple of
doesn't
general
feel. Yeah, it doesn't feel like ooze. It just feels like it has some sort of material that can shift around the quote-unquote bones.
Huh. Okay.
Can I roll mysticism as well? Take the whole time to
Sure, give it a
really
shot.
understand this thing really well. I might call. I'm going to call Pons in if they're around to help on this
my
one.
mysticism is
You're
really good.
probably more suited to the main role on this than I am.
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
I assist.
All right, and for
Okay, Pons, go ahead, give me a roll.
That's a 32, natural 20.
Wow, a nat 20 and assist. Okay, so the feeling you're getting off this thing is basically unlike anything you've ever felt before. It has this strange magical pressure to it. But every time you try to figure out what that is, it kind of slips through your mind like you're trying to clutch water or something. You can tell that it's not ominous or angelic or anything like that. It's got a lot of magical power to it.
And it's kind of slippery and definitely has magical energy, but it can't really be defined, I guess. Almost like it keeps changing or moving.
Izbin was having strange visions. Is this going to be safe to install?
Oh yeah, totally safe.
Not going to affect that.
I don't know. Maybe it'll help.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but again, it doesn't feel like it's, judging by what you're seeing with your nat 20 Pons, it doesn't seem like it's just gonna take over and just start going crazy or something.
Yeah. It doesn't seem parasitic or to have a desire of its own.
Not cursed or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, it should be a
It says right
good
here on the
replacement.
edge, not cursed.
Yeah, it's written. It's on like a piece of tape. It's just written on.
Oh, I see that. It's right here. Not cursed. Okay, well, I guess we're good to go then. Izbin, whenever you're ready, lie down on the table.
She nods and is like, I'm tired of not having arms. So she just gets on the table and...
Oh,
right.
I'll back out of here. I don't want to see this.
No, Pons, I might need your help. This thing has some magical properties. Your assistance would be very much appreciated. 5e as well, if you're
we're
available.
putting it onto her? Oh, I thought you guys were doing something else.
No, we're going to give Izbin her arms back. She's been I don't have a good pun here. Never mind. Going to give Izbin her arms back.
I'm happy to provide medical supervision.
I'll totally help with that then. That makes sense. Okay.
So I'll apply some local anesthetic and get to work installing this thing.
Okay. Go ahead, give me engineering check, and everyone else can assist with physical science, life science, mysticism, or computers.
Ooh, mysticism. Good old plus 12 to it.
Computers 27.
So 30 for mysticism.
So with 2 assists, that is a grand total of 37.
Yes!
Whoa!
All right.
Adam, I'm also putting out a medicine check of 15 just to kind of monitor her vitals and make sure there's nothing alarming happening during this procedure.
Okay.
We can rebuild her. We have the technology.
That's what I'm worried about.
This takes a few hours to actually get right, you know? Because you got to figure out a
hold
way,
on.
okay, how do I attach this?
These are legacy connectors. Hold on, I'm going to have to get some adapters. Can you reach into that bucket over there and pull out some X to Z adapters? And I'm going to need a PWA cable.
A SATA 2.0?
No,
I just
2.4.
2.4.
I just had
no.
a mental image of this. However, I only imagined you doing it in power armor. So every time you point at something, you like knock over a light because you're just not used to being this big.
I'm still not. I'm getting used to these big arms. Hold on. Well, it's like when you get a new toy, you got to use it as much as you can. So
When you
yeah,
break
obviously
it one
Scrif
day.
is wearing power armor while doing this precise surgery.
What do you mean we only have a 12-pin connector?
Just break 2 of them off. It'll be fine. You don't need the ground. You don't need the ground.
Right? That is
You
a real
definitely
thing.
put her under for this, right? Right?
I
so
said
she doesn't have to hear
local-
this?
Local anesthetic.
There's a reason why I rolled a medicine check of 15. I'm going to also administer a mild sedative beforehand and just say, count backwards from 10.
Get me the hacksaw. No, the big one.
10, 9, hacksaw. Ugh. And just passes out.
They're always good by 6.
Okay, so you guys Frankenstein this arm on, but because you got such a ridiculous roll altogether, you do a pretty damn good job. Like, you step back by the
That's
time
right.
you're done, and they're like nodding at each other, like, good job, doctor, 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 good job, doctor.
Doctor.
It's working flawlessly.
Okay, everybody roll perception.
Ooh.
Oh boy, I'm sure this doesn't bode poorly.
I got a 24.
24.
29.
Also 29.
Man, you guys are good now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
DC's got to go up.
Dude, that last boost was huge.
Yeah. Okay. You all notice that, like, she has these bug eyes, so they never actually close, right? But as she starts to come around and flit to life, you see this. It's almost like a wave that passes over her eyes for a second. It's very strange. But she slowly sits up, looks down, and sees this arm attached, and starts trying to move it a little bit,
try to take this orange.
She reaches out really kind of shakily.
It's okay. Take your time. It's going to take some time for the neural pathways to connect to the device. But soon enough, it will be like second nature.
And I got a bag just in case you need it.
Yeah, as they close the hand on the orange, unlike what you see in normal prosthetics where it like closes kind of slowly and mechanically, it's really smooth and gentle, like more so perhaps even than a regular hand.
Huh. Creepy.
Yeah, she looks down at this hand and then looks over at 5e and says, I think I can help get your memory back.
What?
Really?
I do not understand.
She looks down at the hand again. I just kind of understand. And I think I can help.
How?
If we connect up to the ship's computer and all of us help together, if we all connect up, we might be able to unscramble or recreate the data left behind. There are traces. I can feel it. She looks a little unsure. She says the last part.
I'm willing to attempt it if the rest of you are, but I believe you need more rest after this procedure before we attempt something so esoteric.
Are you sure that the anesthesia has worn off? Is this actually Izbin talking?
I admit this feels better than I have since we landed on this horrible, horrible planet. I think I'm okay.
Okay, well, I'm game if you are. 5e?
I am willing, and I am pleased that your outlook on your own prognosis is so positive, Captain Esma.
She nods and it's like, you can tell that like there is a slight difference now. They seem more confident, like a little less worried about everything that's been happening. So like there is a strange change, but as far as you can tell, they seem to be pretty solid with it.
I'm thinking about casting status on her. Or status. But,
stasis?
Stasis? I don't know.
You're gonna freeze her in place?
Not stasis. Status.
Force cube.
But just tell me exactly what she's feeling. But
out of character.
Yeah,
we have the perfect thing in the ship for this, because I installed the consciousness uplink drive into 5e. So 5e, we already have the hookups to hook you straight into this thing.
Excellent. All right, so let's give them a full nice rest of recovery before, hooking them up to a neural network that could potentially complicate things, because that just seems like the decent thing to do. But yeah, I like the idea a lot.
Okay. All right, like she seems kind of raring to go, but you guys just keep insisting, like maybe take some time, lie down for a while, something along those lines. And like eventually she begrudgingly is like, okay.
I mean, we could all use one more day's rest anyway.
Sure.
I'd love to hit that long rest button again and get more hit points back.
Oh, here,
holy shit.
Let me give you another engineering to try and give you some extra hit points.
Okay, and I can actually get them from Burning Resolve as well, so...
Man. Natural 2.
No good?
No extra
Ouch.
points.
No worries. I'll just use a Resolve point to activate my Repairing Nanites, and that will give me... Math is hard. That will give me 10 back, plus whatever I get from rest. So,
it should be close, hopefully.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and do your long rest, guys.
Can you try to heal me up too? I'm still a little down.
Absolutely. Medicine 32.
Thank you, sir. That'll top me off.
Very nice. Okay, so you guys take another night to try to recover. And then you meet up at the ship with Izbin Espa the following morning. You guys gather up in what was once the medical bay is now kind of a workshop / medical bay because of all the 5e-centric stuff that's located in there. We need to join him, so I had a little extra time last night, and she pulls out, like, essentially VR goggles.
Yes.
So, I think that 5e needs to start doing that randomly generated image thing that he does. And
when he
then
sleeps?
we'll join in from there.
All right. Initiating subroutines. 5e's eyes flash and then go into a neutral state where they're not really focused on anything, similar to what he's doing when he rests or defragments at night. And he seems to be in a robotic trance of sorts.
As NR5E enters into RAM sleep, thousands of lines of code start to run before his eyes. You guys put on these VR goggles and you can see the same thing. And then they begin to stretch and shift in weird and unexpected ways until they're suddenly swirling in this rapid motion. Scrif, Pons, without even knowing that it's happening, you drift off into unconsciousness. 5e. An alarm blares as the fluorescent lights overhead throw intermittent bursts of magenta down a steel corridor. You get the impression of familiarity. You've definitely been here before, to this place that's built like a fortress. In fact, you're sure you've walked these halls several times in service to the family that commissioned you. All at once, your prime objective kicks into gear. You can feel that your protectee is in these halls and they are in immediate danger. What do? You are in a long hallway.
Initiating protective subroutines. 5e immediately begins to move down the hallway in the direction that he believes his protective assignment to be.
Okay.
Keeping bioscan readings up and just basically doing everything he can to pinpoint their location and be close by and on the defensive.
Okay. As you begin to move forward, the lights blink out rhythmically. And suddenly, as the light comes back on from the shadows, there are two creatures standing there. One, a power-armored Yosoki, and the other, a floating contemplative. You immediately recognize your friends and allies, Pons and Scrif.
Scrif's mental image of himself, he has, like, very nice hair.
Everything else is identical, but he has this nice cloth.
Amazing head of hair.
Does Pons have any other image of themselves, or do they think they're pretty much right?
I just have my pinstripe suit that's like good to go, and I'm a little bit taller.
It's immaculate right now. It's real nice.
A little bit taller.
Like, not noticeably enough for anybody else, but you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you can feel the urgency of 5e, and you start to move down this corridor together. As you do, this whole hallway begins to stretch out into the distance. You're all moving at full speed, but it's like you're on a treadmill. And with a burst of movement, a second spectral version of 5e jets out in front of you, as if stepping right out of 5e himself. Their eyes flip red before they bolt at full speed down the corridor. Three figures run perpendicular past the end of the stretched corridor, and this spectral 5e is clearly in pursuit. After extensive effort, the three of you gain the end of the hallway and round the corner. Just as you do, the door slides shut in front of you. 5e, you just hit the pad, and it opens again for you as you move through. Yet it is a room no longer. A field of burning trees, smoke billowing into the crimson skies, and a brilliant blood moon enveloping the sky. In this scorched plain, there are odd items of furniture, a broken table, smashed glasses, this crippled bed, and three figures in heavy armor. They stand huddled around a field on a destroyed rug, and they all turn to you simultaneously. From their faces pour smoke, black, horrible smoke. And in that, it begins to shift into vague approximations of people that you know or have seen in passing. Like sometimes it looks like a goblin, sometimes it looks like Scrif, sometimes it looks like people you've just seen around the station before all of this started. I am moving maps now.
Oh.
So look over for that.
Ooh.
Yikes.
That's
By
really
Lee,
cool.
You want to describe this for us?
Yeah. So this looks like pretty much what Adam just described. It's a field of like burning trees that are, so the ground is black and scorched, and the landscape is dotted with all these orange and yellow cinders. I can see what looks like a broken table. The burnt out carpet that he described. Now it looks like looks to be either a human or an elf, a goblin, and a person. I'm not sure what their species is on the west side of the map.
That looks like Adam. Is that Victor?
That's Victor. So the smoke changes again, and then Victor's face is there. And then one of them looks like one of the Gurgatal fighters that you guys ran into, the one you had kidnapped and gave a crystalline crunchy to.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of keep shifting and changing. And then they take a step towards you. Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh.
For the next episode!
No! That's so awesome.
That's really cool.
Fight!
I love Dream Fight.
Dream
It's so good.
Fight!
Tune in next week for Dream Fight. Yes!
Maybe I can fly.
You can already fly.
When life drains you down, charge up on the Emergency Power Network. Theme song Triangles by Diamond Ace. Find them at bandcamp.com. Music provided by Nicholas Judy of Dark Fantasy Studio at darkfantasystudio.com and Tabletop Audio. Find them at tabletopaudio.com. As well as Carl Casey of White Bat Audio. Find them at whitebataudio.com. Font Azonics by Mixo. Find them on Twitter at MixoFX. The Starfinder role-playing game, including its official lore and images, are the intellectual property of Paizo Incorporated. All rights reserved. Narrated by Danny Lee Collins.